What's good, y'all? It's the White Shadow Norway here, and look at this delicious pizza right here. But no, it's not dinner time, because I'm back again with another vinyl collector video for you. Today, we're going to talk about my top 20 hip-hop albums of the 80s. And we're going to count them down, so no food for me or you or the Fat Boys. So we start at number 20 with the first Fat Boys album from 1984. Nowadays, looking back, the Fat Boys are slept on, but back then they were on the level of like Run DMC and Public Enemy and LL Cool J, and they were really big back then, and they were really good when they first came out as the Disco 3, and they did the Crush Crew movie and everything, and this is their debut album, the Fat Boys, and it's got production by Curtis Blow, who was like one, if not the first hip-hop producer that really got recognized for being a producer and stuff. So, back to 84 we went. Number 20 on my top 20 favorite hip-hop albums of the 80s is the Fat Boys album by the Fat Boys, their debut. Moving on to number 19 with DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince's debut album, Rock the House. Now, you might say that what? Will Smith is like he's like a movie star, pop star, but if you go back, you know that together with Jazzy Jeff, this was one of the illest and best hip-hop acts out there in the mid-80s. This got a lot of great songs on it. Of course, got the Girls Say Nothing But Trouble single, and the Guys Say Nothing But Trouble featuring Ice Cream Tea, as well as a lot of other hits like Touch of Jazz, a lot of bangers like Just Rockin' and Magnificent Jazzy Jeff, and as a DJ, this was like scratching on a whole nother level. Like Jazzy Jeff was one of the first DJs to do the Transformer scratch and everything. So, at number 19, Rock the House by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Number 18, moving on, back to New York with Cold Chillin' Records and Marley Marl on the beats, and this is MC Shan's debut album, Down by Law. A great, really hardcore album. The beats are just dirty and grimy and hard and heavy on this one. Got one of the singles, Jane Stop This Crazy Thing. Of course, the classic The Bridge on it, Down by Law, and a lot of other classics. Living in the World of Hip Hop was one of my favorites as well. Of course, because I'm living in the world of hip hop. MC Shan's best album, and the follow-up to Born to Be Wild was dope as well, but this stands as his debut and first and best album to me. So that was number 18. Moving on to number 17. Back again with DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, or Will Smith from 1988. Something as rare as a dope hip-hop double album, this one, called Hes the DJ. I'm the rapper, he's the DJ. A lot of great stuff on this. Even the commercial songs like Parents Just Don't Understand or Nightmare on My Street are great. I mean, Will Smith or Fresh Prince, he was a great storyteller back then, and Jazzy Jeff was even better on the turntables on this than the debut album. So there's like a lot of instrumentals and turntable tracks and even some human beatbox tracks and everything. This album pretty much got everything. So a great album at number 17. Number 16, the Emma's Biz Markie. First, he got known as Roxanne Shantae's human beatbox dude, of course. Then, he started dropping records himself on Prism Records and Cold Chillin'. So this is his debut album called Biz Markie Going Off. And it's ain't nothing but straight bangers and straight hits on this one, man. Picking Boogers, Albee Square Mall, Business Going Off. The Vapors, Make the Music With Your Mouth, Biz, and the Biz Dance, which I believe was his debut 12-inch, Nobody Beats the Biz. This is Something for the Radio, etc. And it's DJ Cool V in there. Just a great hardcore hip-hop album, also largely produced by Marley Marl. There we go. So, definitely a banging album on Cold Chillin' for Biz Markie at number, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Number 15, we go with Run DMC. Run DMC's debut album called just Run DMC on Profile Records. And one of their greatest. This one also is stacked and packed with big classics like Hard Times, Rockbox, Jam Master Jay, Holly Screw, Suck MCs, Is Like That, Wake Up, 30 Days, and Jay's Game. Rest in peace to Jam Master Jay, man. Run DMC, they changed the game when they first came out. It was more about like the Sugar Hill, Enjoy, Tommy Boy Records, party or electro type hip hop before Run DMC came out, but they took it back to the nitty gritty, back to the grimy start of hip hop, back in the true school, back in the old school with just hard drums and scratching and rhyming. So you know, especially when Sucker MCs came out at first. I'll check out the sticker here. This is the old sticker from Hot News Records in Oslo, which was like the best import DJ shop for hip hop and you know anything dance music in the 80s and early 90s out here in Norway. So this is the old sticker before they even got a logo. That's dope. Run DMC at number 15. Number 14. This one, a lot of people probably going to disagree with me on. Probably a lot of people got this at number 1, but to me, it's great and definitely a classic and worthy of my top 20, but it's not that great. I believe that I talked a lot about Public Enemy in the Def Jam bit, but I'll say again that Bring the Noise and Rebel Without a Pause is of course on this, and but those had been around on 12-inch singles for a long time, so by this time, when this came out, I started to get a little bit tired of Public Enemy, and I thought Don't Believe the Hype was a little bit disappointing compared to what came before. It was still a great single. But it's packed with bangers, man. It's definitely a huge classic. Public Enemy's second album, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. And I'm losing count. I'm like a world champion of that. 20, 19, 18, 17... 16, 15, 14, so we're at number 13 right now. And we bring you the Jungle Brothers, man. Straight out the jungle. This is like some laid back sample and breakbeat heavy hip hop from the mid 80s. And just the overall great album. Y'all know the JBs, man, the Jungle Brothers. Yeah, and you know, a lot of classics on this too, man. My favorite is the opening banger here, Straight Out the Jungle. But you also got Jim Browski and Black is Black, and Because I Got It Like That, and Sounds of the Safari, which is like a up-tempo hip-hop instrumental with a lot of scratches and stuff there, by DJ Sammy B, I believe. So, the JBs, the Jungle Brothers. Definitely a Zulu Nation type thing also there, Jungle Brothers and Straight Out the Jungle. Great album. Number 12, we keeps it moving. Yes, we keeps it moving right here. With the number 12 album, we take it to the West Coast with the sound of Low Profile, which was MCWC of WC in the Mad Circle, of course, and DJ Aladdin, who was like one of the best turntablist scratch battle DJs back in the late 80s, and there's a lot of great cutting on this, man, and the beats are like really P-Funk inspired and real funky and real heavy and hard. Album's called We're In This Together, and that's number 12 on my top 20 favorite hip-hop albums of the 80s. You got bangers like Funky Song, Pay Your Dues, Aladdin's on a Rampage with a lot of great scratches on that one. He cuts up some Bootsy and everything, and the title track, We In This Together, and so on and so on. Yep, all the songs pretty much great on this one, and one of the best West Coast hip-hop P-Funk type albums back then. Almost top 10. This almost made it to the top 10, but not quite. Number 11, it's Mantronix's debut album called Just the Album. And what do we got here? A bunch of stuff that was had been on 12-inch singles before. That was great too, like Baseline was a single. Needle to the Groove was, Ladies, and Fresh is the Word. They were all singles. You also got the Mega Mix here with edits by the Diamond 2, which is really great. And oh yeah, here's the newer Hot News Records in Oslo sticker. That's what that looked like. See if I can hold it up there, that the light doesn't interfere too much. But a great, like, Mantronix, they really had their own style. Sleeping Bag Records, Koala Bear down here, by the way. They were like electro, but down-tempo electro type beats. So something in between what came before and what came after this style there. But they were definitely unique styles-wise when it came to beats and stuff like that. So number 11, Mantronix, the album. Top 10 now, with a really hardcore album. Schoolie D, out of Philly, and DJ Code Money on the cuts, of course. Saturday Night, the album. This was Schoolie D's second album. The first one was great, but this one was even better. It's a short album, but every track's a real heavy banger here. Like We Get Ill, Do It with the funny Disney sample and everything. Then you got Dedication to Old B-Boys Getting Paid, B-Boy Rhyme and Riddle, the single Saturday Night, and the instrumental scratch track that's real heavy called It's Crack, which it is. On Schoolie D Records, this one, and like the cover is real, he just drew him himself. So really cool cover artwork here, and a really great album at number 10 by Schoolie D. Number 9, this might come as a surprise to some. Steezo, the album called Crazy Noise. He used to be a dancer for EPMD. Then he put out this great album and a couple of 12-inch singles himself. And I believe he's still rhyming too. He's still putting out good underground hip-hop nowadays. He's a good MC, he's a solid MC, but, Paul C, rest in peace Paul C, the legendary producer, is who made this great. Like, all the beats on this are like 70s funky, banging, heavy hip-hop beats, like Freak the Funk and It's My Turn. That was a single with To The Max on the B-side. Both of those are great, and there's some great scratching on this, and it's just an awesome album that might not be on most people's top 20 charts, so it might come as a surprise to you that it's on mine, but this is my favorites. It's not the definitive top 20 of the 80s, of course, though there's a lot of classics and some surprises in here, and that was one of them by Steezo, Crazy Noise. Keep it moving to my favorite Public Enemy album, their debut album, Yo Bum Rush the Show. I talked about this in the Def Jam video as well. Most of the tracks are solid here, like You're Gonna Get Yours, Sophisticated Bitch, Mousy Was a Ton, Time Bomb, and you got Too Much Posse, Public Enemy number 1 MP, Yo Bum Rush the Show, Raise the Roof, and so on. Really great, and hip-hop turned kind of political and pro-black and everything with Public Enemy on Def Jam recordings. Yeah, I'm probably in the minority, but when I think this is better than It Takes a Nation of Millions to hold us back, but this is the White Shadow Norway top 20 hip-hop album of the 80s, so that's the way it goes. Number 8, Yo Bum Rush the Show by Public Enemy. Number 7, yeah, it's got harder now to find out the what album we're going to be in what place now, because the albums from now on and up is just really great classics. This is Eric B. and Rakim's debut album called Paid in Full, of course. You got Eric B. over here, Rakim over here, and this one is packed with great songs too, like I Ain't No Joke, My Melody, and of course Eric B. is President, which was the first single as well on Sakia Records. And I know you got Soul and Move the Crowd and the title track Paid in Full and The Crew down here. Yeah, Rush Artist Management, Hot News is where I copped it. Definitely a great classic hip-hop album, this one. Paid in Full by Eric B. and Rakim at number 7. Back to the West Coast we go, to number 6. NWA's first album, Straight Outta Compton, crazy motherfucking name, Ice Cube. These songs contain explicit lyrics. Parental guidance suggested. Now this is an old parental guidance sticker. They hadn't really made an official one yet, so this is like primitive parental guidance. Well, I think maybe the first one I saw, I'm not sure. But anyway, I copped this when I was in London. I copped this at the legendary hip-hop store Groove Records on Greek Street in the Soho area of London, and they had just gotten this album in. It was like my second trip to the store in a week when I was there, and I managed to grab this when it was brand new in at Groove Records. So this was brand new and fresh then, and I didn't listen to it. They just said, this album is incredible, man, you gotta have it. So I grabbed it, and I was not disappointed, as this is one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time, and definitely of the 80s. Number 6 on my chart, it's NWA, and Straight Outta Compton. Got a lot of bangers here, like Fuck the Police and Gangsta Gangsta, Express Yourself, of course, Dope Man, the remix, and so on, man. Produced by Dr. Dre. He was on some other shit back then. He was more like East Coast type production with a lot of samples and breakbeats and stuff, and that was his best style in my humble opinion. NWA, Straight Outta Compton at number 6. On to the top 5. Yeah, now it's gonna get really great here. Boogie Down, Boogie Down, Boogie Down, Boogie Down, Boogie Down Productions, BDP and Boogie Down Productions' second album, By All Means Necessary, and this is KRS-One, and you know how this is a famous picture of Malcolm X that he redid for this cover. And so many great songs on it, man. My Philosophy, A Slippin', Stop the Violence, Illegal Business, I'm Still Number One, Part-Time Suckers, Jimmy, you know. And the crew over here, from Red Alert to KRS to ICU back there. I was an extended Boogie Down Productions fan member when I lived in New York, and so that's, you know, BDP are special to me, and much respect to BDP and KRS-One forever, and a great, great album at number 5 on my top 20 hip-hop albums of the 1980s. This is the White Shadow Norway. Hope you're having fun with this short. Now we only got 4 albums left. At number 4, the Beastie Boys, License to Ill. That's their first and debut album, of course. Just packed with bangers, man, from the first to the last tracks. And this album, I believe, also was the first to hit number 1 on the pop charts in the US. They were big out here too, but, you know, still for the more hip-hop heads, I mean, the mainstream couldn't get into it out here as much as in the USA. But a great hip-hop album, this from the Beastie Boys at number 4. Top 3 already, man. Time flies. Number 3 is my man LL Cool J, and I'm Bad. And that was the first single from this one, I'm Bad. B-A-D, or Bigger and Deafer. LL's second and best by far, in my opinion, album. So great. Yeah, man, so heavy. Like I'm Bad opens this up, then Candy, then Get Down, Bristol Hotel, Go Cut Creator Go was a big one. The Breakthrough was dope on this, and, you know, just a crazy, great classic hip-hop album from mid-80s. LL Cool J at number 3, Bigger and Deafer. Only 2 to go, so it's time to raise some hell. As we racing hell right here. Number 2, my second favorite hip-hop album of the 1980s by Run DMC, their third album, and their best, definitely, Racing Hell. One of those type of albums where every song is great, and, you know, when we first got this, we would listen to the single My Adidas and Peter Piper, and then we would like move on to Walk This Way, and then we'd like discover Is It Live and Hit It Run and a title track and Proud to Be Black, and you know, we just went from favorite song to favorite song on this. It's that solid, man. It lasted for months. We just found new favorite songs of this all the time, and I played it a lot out in the clubs. I mean, Walk This Way was really big out here in Europe and in Norway too, and overall an incredible album by Run DMC. And we're just about done, so what will it be? What do you think is my favorite hip-hop album of the 1980s? Well, without further ado, I bring it to you. It's the crew, Boogie Down Productions, BDP once again, and their first album on B-Boy Records called Criminal Minded. You've been blinded, looking for a style like mine, you can't find it. And there's not a weak song on this, man. Every song a banger. Poetry, South Bronx, 9mm Goes Bang, word from my sponsor, Elementary, Dope Beat Remix for the piece for free. The Bridge Is Over, Super Ho, and Criminal Minded. You see the B-Boy Records plaque or whatever down here. Scott LaRock, rest in peace, DJ Scott LaRock, and the Blast Master KRS-One. Unfortunately, Scott LaRock only managed to make this album and some 12-inch singles before it, but he made everlasting impact on music and the hip-hop scene forever. So in my opinion, the best hip-hop album of the 1980s by Boogie Down Productions, Criminal Minded. Hope you enjoyed this countdown of the White Shadow Norway's favorite 80s top 20 hip-hop albums. I'll catch you on another video like this soon. Y'all have a good one. Bye!